day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope that if you guys are living anywhere near me while you're doing this workout, you're enjoying this beautiful weather we have at this time. Obviously, if you're not live or you're working out somewhere else, maybe that doesn't apply, but it is beautiful here, actually a little cool. My garage is in a sweatbox. It is wonderful, so I'm excited to work out this morning. So guys, what we're going to need today is a good weight selection. So again, I'm not saying go into your weight rack, but a light, medium, heavy is probably what you're going to want to have available to you. You're also going to need a sturdy chair. So again, just in case you're new with me, sturdy chair just means a chair that can support some weight and some moving around by you. So, you know, not a camping chair, your kid's chair, you know, something like that. So you want something steady, pretty heavy that's going to support you and not be a risk factor in your exercise. You're also going to need an exercise band with handles if you have it. So what I mean by that is something like this. So we've got the rubber band, we've got the handles on the end where we can stand and do some stuff that way with it, okay? So that's what we're looking for, the band, resistance band with the handles. Now, if you don't have that, then that is absolutely not a big deal, okay? So you'll just do the exercise without the bands because we're gonna combine weights and bands in an exercise. So if you don't have it, don't sweat it, just do the band or do the exercise without the bands. Last thing you're going to need is just your regular yoga mat, whatever it is that makes you comfy down on the floor. We are going to get down there for 2 of our 4 sets will be in the floor. So that is what you're going to need today. So what are we doing, you may ask? So we're doing a front body boot camp. So, you know, again, always just working different stuff. We've done some upper body boot camp, lower body. We've done a core boot camp. And we've done some front and back body, but it's been a while. So front body, back body, just think if you're going to turn sideways and draw a line down this direction, front body is going to be everything here, back body is going to be everything here. So your posterior, your anterior. So that is what we're going to be working today is front body, and then our next workout we're going to do back body. So just another way to move, another way to change up our workouts, another way to keep it interesting, right? So when we're working front body, you want to think your anterior shoulders, your chest, your abs through here, so kind of the main thing when you think abs through here, biceps, and our quads. So that's really what we're going to be working on today, is sort of that muscle group there. Let's see, it'll be pretty isolating. So, you know, when we work quads, we're going to be digging into the quads. When we work chest, we're really digging in chest. You know, that kind of thing. So that's why I say also have a good range of weights, because when we stay in the same muscle group for a while, it can get fatigued and you might not be able to stay as heavy the whole time. So we're going to do 4 sets. Each set has 3 exercises, except for our core set. We've only got 2 in that set. So that's kind of how we're working today. Excuse me, we're going to be working reps, not time. For the most part, we're doing 12 reps. We do have a couple that are a little different, like when we get to our core set. But for the most part, we're going to be doing 12. And then just the rest is kind of our standard stuff, right? So add your music, whatever it is that inspires you, gets you fired up. As always, modify things if you need to. Most of the stuff today, pretty straightforward, but always be mindful of your body. I'll offer some modifications, but if you don't know how to modify, I will be checking Facebook as always between sets to sort of make sure the video is running, but also for exactly that, to see if you have any questions or comments. If I don't catch what modification you need while you're working out, at least you'll have it for future reference. Yeah, that's really it. You know, last messages are always, please just share these videos, share my page, share my workout, spread the love. We'd love to get our message out in front of more people and really encourage more people to get moving for the multitude of reasons that it's good, not for just I want to be skinny, not the best, healthiest motivation. It's a motivation, but there's so much more that you can get out of working out and being fit and healthy. And lastly, if you would like to Venmo any donations to me for these classes, it is the only payment I receive for these classes, so it is greatly appreciated. And I do thank all of you who have given so generously so far. So you can donate via Venmo at Strong Style Fit. All right, guys. So I'm gonna grab a sip of water, check the video, and we're gonna get started. So we've only got one leg set today. It's gonna be pretty intense. It's something we've actually done recently, so I wanted to kind of go back to it. One, because it's a great quad isolating exercise, so that was number one. And number two, it's one that's a little more complicated to get exactly right. Not that it's really a hard, well, it is a hard, it's an intense exercise, but also just getting the form right on it just takes some trial and error. And it's such a great exercise and it's really worth the effort. So I wanted to kind of revisit it again right away. So if you did it the last time and feel like you need a little bit of tweak, a little bit of help with it, you'll get another opportunity. So you need your heavy chair for this set. We're going to do 2 rounds of split squat. So we're going to do a left leg split squat, a right leg, and then we're going to do that bear squat that we just did. So all 3 exercises are going to be something that we've done recently, but again, on purpose. I wanted to get a chance to practice it, and with the bear squat, because that was something a little new to me, I'm going to add a little tweak to it too, just to make it a little more challenging. So that's where we're at. So get your chair set up, or whatever you're going to use to put your back foot up on for the split squat, and then we will get started in just a moment. All right, guys, boom. All right, so this will definitely be the slowest part of our workout as far as me coaching you, because this is, again, one that we really want to get right. It takes a little bit of time. So bear with me here for the first few minutes. If you know how to do a split squat and you're not watching this live, then feel free to fast forward just a little bit until you see us get moving, okay? All right, so split squat, we're going to step out away from the chair. This is where the trial and error really comes. And you might need, if you have some balance problems or just challenges, you might want to have something close by, like the back of the couch, whatever, a wall, just in case. So we're going to step away from the chair, and then we're going to kick one foot back. Now, as soon as we kick one foot back, what usually happens is our hips get out of line. So we want to take our hips and really square them off and make sure that both hips are facing forward and one hip doesn't flare back. So from here, the 2 things that you want to be able to do is you want to be able to drop straight down, which I can already tell I'm not in the right spot, where your knee, I'm going to hold on just so I can do it really slow, this back knee, you really want it to come straight down. So you don't want to be extended like a yoga lunge here. You want that knee to be able to fold straight down, while at the same time, you want your front knee to stay in line with that ankle behind your toes. So those are the 2 things that you're looking for. So it takes some trial and error. Once you find it though, I highly recommend that you take a weight. There we go. So about right there is perfect for me. I'm coming straight up and down. You still need to let those hips come back a little bit to keep that knee where you want it. So we've got hips squared off, everything's set. We come straight down. We let our back knee really bend behind us, and we let our hips come back just a little bit, and then we drive up, pushing through that front heel. So once you get your spot, I highly recommend that you grab a weight and just sort of mark it, or anything, so you know that's kind of where your toe is going to go. All right, so that's all the coaching. So I think we're ready to get moving. All right, guys, so let's go for 12, starting now. 12, 11. You might feel some pull through the leg that's bent back, and that is mostly because our quads are tight and we're kind of getting a quad stretch at the same time. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Pretty intense. It's really right in that core. I mean, it is digging in the core of that quad muscle, right? It is in there. It is working. All right, so we're going to do the other side. Now, always be mindful. We usually have different length legs by a little bit. That is very possible. So what is perfect for your left leg might not be perfect for your right. So give yourself a little trial. There we go. All right, I'll give you just another couple seconds to get yourself set up. Make sure those hips are squared off. We're standing strong through our plant leg. We're not letting our weight shift out to the side. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Nothing wrong with grabbing for balance. 4. I love for you to challenge yourself. 3. But if you're flailing all over the place, 2, 1. If you're flailing all over the place, trying to keep your balance, I'd much rather you grab something to help with the balance and really be able to focus on the exercise versus not really being able to focus on your legs because you're just scrambling the entire time. All right, so I'm gonna shift my chair out of the way. So we're going to do bear squat with just a little hold at the bottom. So instead of coming right down into the bear squat, pushing back up, we're gonna hold down into it, not for long, just for like a count of 1, and then push back up. Really push into those quads a little more. So we're gonna start in tabletop. And again, this weight's just here because it's my marker for my split squat. You don't need any weights for this exercise. So we're in tabletop. So you set up very similar to plank, nice wide hands, shoulders engage, arms pushing away, flat back. So now that we're here, we lift our quads up just a little bit, our knees up. So you should feel an instant fire up in those quads. So we're hovering just above, and then we push up into a kind of narrow down dog. And then we come back down. So that's going to be what 1 looks like. All right, so let's get started. Drop it down, hold, 1, 2, push up, drop, 2, 2. Good. Make sure your hips are staying over your knees. Don't get too extended out because then you're not going to feel much in your quads. You really got to kind of stay over those knees. Go. We're doing 10 of these. 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. All right. Round 1 complete. So let's go ahead and grab your chair. You took it out of the picture. Let's go ahead and grab that chair, move it back into your space. And now I guess the question is, does my marker still work because I moved my chair? Oh well. All right. Let's get ourselves set back up. As always, do a little test run. See where you're at. And again, I said it before, I've talked about it several times lately. Make sure this weight is really up over your leg. When we go to a single leg, we tend to sort of let our weight rock out. Stay up tall through it, hips square off, and we come straight, come straight down. Now you definitely have the option to add a weight here if you want. 6. For me, especially with my knees, this is plenty challenging, but you're welcome to hold a weight down by your side if you'd like. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Other side. I need to give my knee just a little shimmy shake. When I moved it there, I got a little mad at me for just a second. All right. So set up the other side. Get those hips squared off. Give yourself a little test. Good. All right. Let's do it. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, woo, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Ooh. All right. Ooh. All right, so I'm gonna do those bear squats. So I don't move my chair this time. I'm gonna do them facing the camera this go round. Whew. Next round, I'll do it sideways because then I'll be done with the chair, okay? So we're gonna come down to hands and knees. So again, we're gonna set up those nice wide hands, wide starfish fingers. Roll those shoulders back, neck goes long. We've got our knees right underneath us, flat back. We lift to hover, push up, come down, hold, push up again. Just leave your knees hovering just about an inch above the ground. Three, 4. Make sure those hips are back. 5. Over those knees. 6. Also get some shoulder work here. 7. 8. 2 more. 9. Last one. 10. Woo. All right. We got one more trip through. This will get your heart rate up too, right? So I always like to start with legs, even if we're only doing one set of legs, because anything with our legs, we're using big muscles. So it gets that heart rate going, usually gets the sweat coming just a little bit, gets our body nice and warm. So it's always good to start with legs, if you can. All right, guys, one more trip through. Let's get ourselves set up here. Now, you can also, your back toe here, and it's funny because I have been doing it this way. You can do your toe up here, or you can do it back this way. It's really your option. I've actually historically did it this way. Recently, I've started doing it this way, but for some reason today I've been up on my toe again. So there's really no difference. It's just what's comfortable for your knee. So I am going to go back to doing it with a flat foot because I think that actually felt better on my knee. All right, so let's set it up. Let's go. 12, 11, definitely feels better on my back knee. 10, also not quite as intense stretch in that quad. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Other side. Yeah, I will say flattening the foot out definitely takes some of that intensity out of the quad stretch, which I love a good quad stretch, but it was getting so intense for me, it was sort of distracting from the exercise. So like I said, I've been doing this lately. I'm not sure why my brain defaulted back to the pointed toe, but you know, our bodies do what they're gonna do sometimes. All right, guys, let's get set up. Give yourself one little test. Make sure you're good. And we're going for 12. 12. Also remember, lift those hips. 11, come back a little bit. So you're going straight down, but to go straight down and to keep your knee where you want it, you've got to let those hips shift back a little bit. 8, which makes sense. That falls into line with everything else we do, right? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo. Good stuff. All right, guys. We've got our bear squats. So I'm going to get my chair out of the way now. can move this little weight out of the way too. Perfect. All right, bear squats. So again, we're gonna get ourselves in the tabletop. Wide fingers, knees right underneath the hips, shoulders back and down, nice long neck, toes curl under, knees hover, and we push. 1, hold, push up. 2, push up. Again, knees hover. 3, push up. 4, push up. 5, 6, 7. Awesome job, guys. Almost there. 8. 2 more. 9. Last one. Hold. 10. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Push up. Good job, guys. Surprised you with a little extra challenge there. I hope you met me on that challenge. You can definitely see where when you start holding there, those quads really start talking to you, especially after those split squats, right? So that will definitely be our slowest set of the day. Just a lot of coaching needed for those split squats to really get them right. And you go, while we take our break, I'll just kind of keep chatting. I definitely like to point out things like, oh, suddenly I'm holding my toe this way when I've kind of not done that. And now I suddenly am. And I point that out, not to make myself look like a bad trainer, right? But to make it known that trainers aren't perfect. And that also their bodies kind of do what they want sometimes. Generally, they're going to try to find the path of least resistance, or they're going to try to battle whatever your challenge is. So if you have a stability challenge, your toe might come up. You might come up on your toe because that feels a little more stable, vice versa. So I just like to point those things out, that it happens to even those of us that really kind of know what's happening with our body, what it should and shouldn't be doing. So you really just have to pay attention. And if you realize, like I did, oh crap, I've been doing something wrong. Why am I doing that? And if you have no idea why, go back, fix it. It's no big deal, right? I was also listening to my body and was like, why is my back knee hurting? That hasn't been something that's been a problem for me in a long time. And that's when it hit me what I was doing. So just another example of listening to your body, and it'll tell you what's going on usually. All right. So that was a pretty good little break. We're gonna work chest now. So we're gonna come down to the floor. We're gonna do a single arm bench press left, single arm bench press right, and we're gonna do push-ups. I know, everybody just went, "Ugh." I know. I'm gonna do modified push-ups. I feel like I'm getting a much more successful workout than when I try to fumble through full push-ups. So this is where I'm gonna practice what I preach and go, listen, I can do a full push-up, but I feel like I'm more struggling than I am being successful. Where if I do a modified push-up, I feel like I'm really getting the work, and I hope that in one day, as I work through these modified push-ups, that I do build up the strength, get my shoulder right, to where I can do full push-ups. So I practice what I preach most of the time. All right, guys. I'm just gonna take a quick peek around the camera and then we'll get started. All right. So it looks like we're all good. I think maybe my friend Dave might be peeking in. Hey, Dave Becker, if you're there. All right, so we're gonna get our weight for our bench press, and then obviously you don't need any weight for your push-up, so just grab whatever you want for your single arm bench and bring it down to the floor with you. All right. So single arm bench press is exactly like a regular bench press, except we're just doing one arm at a time. So I'll just give you kind of the basic bench press coaching, and then we will go from there. So we're gonna lay it back on our back. I always like to, if you have any kind of booty, which I don't have much, but it still happens, that your lower back kind of arches up off the ground. So I like to pick my hips up and kind of tuck my tail, and then roll my spine down. And now my whole spine is on the floor. I don't have that little lower back pop up. So single arm bench press, we're going to come up over our chest, Now remember guys, as I preach often, make sure that you're actually over your chest, not your neck, not your head. You can test that by dropping the weight down and seeing where your arm lands. If your arm lands here even with your chest, then you're perfect. That also means that your arm is not straight up out of your shoulder, because if it is, I'm now more pressing over my neck. So bring it down, have a little bit of angle in those elbows, and you're going to be in the right spot. So plug those shoulders in and down. We're going to hold the non-working arm weight up above us, just to add a little extra challenge. So we're here. Start with whatever arm you want. We're doing 12 each side. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. We're going to put the other arm up. Now we work the other. Again, plugging those shoulders in. You don't want them really rounded in and up. Really plug those shoulders down, which is hard for us. All right, other side. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Turn those weights in, lower them to your chest. Now you can kind of offload them. So with our shoulders, we tend to raise them up here because that's how we sit at desks, right? That's how we sit and look at our phones. So I really want you to think about plugging those shoulders down. Look at the difference. I'm up here, what feels normal. I plug my shoulders down. Look at that difference, right? This shoulder, I can't even get all the way down like I can my left. So, something to be mindful of. It's something I've just started working on, thinking about. A new yoga instructor, actually, that I've been using online, was talking about plugging your shoulders back into the sockets, and that really clicked with me. And I thought about how many times I don't do that in other exercises. In yoga, I'm pretty mindful of it, but in other exercises, not so much. So, something to think about, plugging those shoulders, those arms back into those shoulders. All right, so we've got our push-ups. So you can do modified push-up to your knees or full push-up. I will be doing modified push-up. So when we modify though, we set up our hands how we want them. And then I want you to, even if it's just for a minute, come up and hold plank. Now mine's gonna look funny because I don't have a lot of space back there. We hold plank and then we drop our knees. And that's where we know that we've hit a modification. I'm gonna spin, I think I might have more room this way. Sort of. All right, so you see my body's at an angle. I'm not in that tabletop position. So that's how we know that we're really modifying, not just doing tabletop, which doesn't give us much work. So from here, we're gonna drop down. Again, elbows kind of behind us. Not completely like a tricep push-up, but they're not gonna come straight up out of your shoulders. All right, that's a little easier to show in practice. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. We're going for 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push. Good work, guys. So yeah, in case you can tell from the video, instead of being up here even with our shoulders, just like I was saying, the bench press, we're really up more around our throat, right? Drop it down just a little bit. Now you're working chest, okay? So definitely a mistake I've made for pretty much my entire fitness life up until recently, when I was looking into why do I have this chronic shoulder thing. And I think about 10 years of working my chest up too high is what's done it. So, just a hypothesis, I'm not a doctor, but I'm trying to spread that message for other people as well. All right, we've got our single arm bench. So again, let's plug those shoulders back. We're over our chest. Let's go. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Right to the other side. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. You also have a benefit if you hold your other weight above your chest with your shoulder plugged in. It gives you kind of a target to where your other working weight should be landing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. So when I had this arm I had this arm plugged in, but this arm was extended, I noticed my push was way higher. But then when I plugged it in, oh. All right, guys, we go back to those push-ups. All right, so remember, we find our modification by holding plank, dropping our knees. Now we have found where we want to modify to. I'm going to turn just a little bit so I got space for my feet. Set myself up one more time. There we go. All right, guys. Let's do this. We got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, woo, shake it up. 1, nice. So a couple things. One, you might notice that your push-ups are extra hard because we've been doing the bench press right before. And two, if like me, you're experimenting with this kind of dropped elbow and that's something new to you, then you'll notice maybe your weights go down a little bit at first. Your push-ups are a little harder at first because you've not been working down these deep chest muscles. You've been working up in these sort of upper chest muscles, which again, isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you want to build down here too. And that's ideally what you are trying to build with your basic bench press or a basic push-up. All right, last round, guys. Let's get yourself set. Hug those shoulders down. Get that spine long. Over the chest, we work. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Right to the other side. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Set them down. Woo. All right. We got one more round of push-ups. Okie doke, guys. Woo. That chest is going to be tired. It's going to be fatigued. Push through it. You can do it. So we modify here, or of course if you're doing a full push-up, rock it out. This is where I'm working from today. All right, guys. Let's do this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Want to keep that gaze just slightly out in front. 5, woo, 4, 3, 2, oof, last one, 1. Whoa, yes, the fatigue is real. All right, guys, come on up. Our next set is going to be standing. Give yourself a little break. You need to stretch out that chest. Ooh, now's a great time to do so. We're gonna take a little break here, and then we're gonna go into some biceps and some shoulders. So obviously our shoulders have been doing a little bit of work through a couple of our exercises, but now we're really gonna dig in and work the shoulder. So we're going to do a banded, weighted bicep curl. So we're gonna hold our bicep curl weights with a band under our feet to extra challenge that bicep curl. Basically, if we bicep curl with weights, the heaviest part is in one place. If we bicep curl with a band, the heaviest work is in another place. If we pair them together, the heavy works the whole way. So definitely give it a shot with your regular bicep curl weight. If you're going to use a band, give it a shot, but just acknowledge that you're adding the extra challenge of the band, so you might need to drop your weight. I could be in that boat too, so we'll see. It's one of those, we just don't know until we do it, right? So if you don't have the band, then just do bicep curls. You're not really losing anything, it's just taking away a little bit of that extra challenge. But maybe, if you have the option, maybe try a little heavier weight and see how you do with that. Just an option, just something to think about. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do a front raise with a neutral grip, and then we're gonna do combined. So we're gonna do solely biceps, solely shoulders, and then we're gonna combine bicep, shoulder, okay? Yeah. So again, consider that when you're doing your bicep curls. And in fact, I'm gonna go ahead, just in case, especially since we're gonna be doing bicep curls twice. So get your weights. I'm gonna grab a drink, check the video, we'll get going. Yes, Caroline, I saw your comment. So Caroline's saying that she's feeling push-ups, chest press, more in her arms than in her chest. So I have to see it to really be able to tell you what's happening there. But chances are it might be maybe you're a little too heavy, and so your arms are doing more of the work than your chest. Or it could be like I was talking about, where you have your arms kind of up and extended, and you're more out here than having those shoulders plugged back. So that's two things that it could be. Couple other things that I have to see you to tell you for sure. So maybe we can do like a Zoom or something, or we can get together and I can take a look at it for you. Because that's not uncommon, there's just a lot of different things that could be. So, 2, our banded bicep curl. So I'm gonna grab my little handy dandy weights here, my band. So, sort of get our band set up, and then we're gonna grab our weights. Now it might be a little tricky, depending on how big your dumbbells are and how big your handles are. So, could be a little tricky. So go ahead and grab them and sort of do a couple practice runs. I'm feeling already like I probably need to drop the weight. Especially if we're going to do more bicep curls in the third exercise. So I'm gonna drop my weight down here. Perfect. So just a tip with these bands, if you're new to using these bands, if you need to make it a little more challenging, you can spread your feet out. If you need to make it a little easier, you bring your feet more narrow. So that's one way. Or if you have a set of bands, obviously just grab the easier one. All right, so we're gonna do 12 for bicep curls. We've got our shoulders back, elbows locked in, and curl. So that feels really different, right? You're getting resistance all the way. There's no easy point. You've got resistance every direction. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, woo, 10, 2 more, 11, 12, woo. Now alternatively, you might be able to, depending on the size of the weight or the band, you could also do sort of like a pull through to have the band just connected to the handles. But since I'm on video, I don't have time. I don't want you to have to watch me fumble with it for 5 minutes between every set. I'm not going to do that. But if you're doing this recorded or you just don't mind being a little bit behind, give that a shot if it's uncomfortable holding the band and the weight in one hand, okay? All right, so we've got our front raise with a neutral grip. So I'm gonna try with 10s, see where we get. All right, so neutral grip. Normally we do a front raise and we're here. We have the weight, this kind of grip. We're gonna go neutral, which is here. And what that really does is bring that into the front of our shoulders by changing that grip. Okay, all right, so again, this is one you wanna make sure those shoulders are plugged back and you're lifting with your shoulder plugged back, not roll forward, lifting forward. See how different that looks? Okay, so I'll do a few front and a few to the side just so you can see. Let's go ahead and get started. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Again, we're stopping at that shoulder level. 7, 6, 5, shoulders plug back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, feels a little different than that normal front raise. Again, because we're moving it to the front. I learned a cool tip about shoulders that basically wherever your thumb, well, I don't want to get too complicated, but basically however we rotate our thumb changes what part of our shoulder we're working. Crazy. All right, so we've got a bicep curl to overhead press. So now this is going to be a hammer curl, where our other curl was a traditional grip. So we're going to hammer curl up, shoulder press up, bring it back down, curl it down. Okay? So we're going to go for 12 of those. Let's do it. 12, 11. Keeping those shoulders down away from your ears. I'll show you the bad version. 10 is when we're like this. Here. 9, 8, 7. Definitely glad I made the decision to drop those weights. 6, 5, 4, 3, woo, 2, last one, 1. Woo. Good work, guys. Take just a second. Woo. Shake those arms out. Give yourself a little twist if you're feeling kind of tight anywhere. I tend to, in some standing exercises, my scully kind of kicks in, gives me a little tight spot every now and then, so I just have to shimmy, shake it out. All right, so we're going back to those bicep curls with the band. So again, if you have the time, you can sort of thread the band around the handle so you don't have to hold both. Definitely understand it's not the most comfortable. You could honestly probably even do here, but then they slide around a little bit. So just play with it, see what works for you. All right, let's go. 12, 11, and you might not need to death grip either. Like I just sort of have my thumbs balancing. 10, 9, 8, 7, woo, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. 1. Man, oh man, changes the game because there is no break in that bicep curl. You know, normally when you curl up from about here to here is the hard part. Here to here is easy breezy. But when you've got that resistance, you've got to fight the whole way up and down. Totally changes it. All right, set those shoulders back. Got that neutral grip front raise. Remember, keep those shoulders and those arms plugged back. Let's go. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! All right, set that weight down for just a sec. And we've got that curl, the overhead press. And the shirt keeps creeping down. Thankfully, the sports bra I have is it's bigger than most people's bathing suit tops. So if something were to slide all the way down, we'd be just fine. All right, guys, so we've got that hammer curl into the overhead press. Let's go. 12, 11. Keep your shoulders down away from the ears. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. Woo! Feeling it. Feeling some triceps too from this. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Woo! All right. Take one more, just short little break. Wiggle fingers. Move those shoulders around. Give it a little stretch. Rotation if you need it. You may not. All right, friends. I think we're ready. Last round. Give those guns a little pep talk. Come on, we can do this. Get our band set up. All right. Woo. Even just pulling those up, my arms were like, are we seriously doing this again? Yes, arms, we seriously are doing it again. All right, shoulders down, elbows locked to the sides. Let's do it. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Make sure you're not letting that band just jerk your hands back down either. 5, resist it. I know it's hard. 4, 3, 2, last one, 1. Woo, guys, that is no joke. All right, bring my band out of the way here. All right, ready or not, front raises, here they come. Okay, guys, shoulders back, plug them down. Remember, we're stopping at about that shoulder height. We're leaving those arms plugged back. I'll do this from the side. I think I haven't done this side yet. Let's go from the side. Let's lift. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, getting intense, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, 1. Man, oh man, no joke. It's a total game changer, leaving those shoulders plugged back. And you probably noticed between each rep, pretty much, I was like, reset, put them back. Reset, put them back. That's okay. There's no harm in that. Not at all. All right. Last one. Then we're on to core. Hammer curl. Shoulder press. Let's do it. Hammer. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. Almost there. I know it's getting hard. 2. Last one. 1. Finish it. Perfect. All right, guys, we are done with our weights. So you can set your weights out to the side, away from you, put them away. Woo. My shoulders and arms feel like they are vibrating. Always a sign you've pushed to about fatigue when you're not moving anymore and you see your muscles jumping. You've done it. You've done the job. All right, guys, so we've got a quick core set, just 2 exercises. It is going to be on the floor, both on our back. So we're going to do what's called walk-up, what I call walk-ups. I tend to have my own funny names for a lot of things. So there's supine walk-ups, and then we're going to do bicycle crunch, but we're going to slow it down. So it's not going to be one of those 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to slow it down, really focus, and concentrate. That's going to help us really work our core. We're just pulling through our neck. So go ahead. Once you're ready, if your heart rate's super high, let it come down a little bit before you hit the floor. Otherwise, hit the floor, drink, video. We'll get going. All right, friends. So we're going to do some walk-ups. I want to make sure my feet, because the feet are sort of the most important part of this particular one. So I might scoot to the point that my head is out of the frame, but that's all right. You don't need to see my head. So I just want to make sure that you can see my feet, or at least a good bit of my legs when we do this exercise. So I'm going to kind of get to just the edge where my head's on. We'll see. I don't want my head on the floor either. So hopefully you can see my feet, or at least the better part of my legs. And actually, I do this. I'll demonstrate with my head off here on the concrete, but so you can see my feet. So we're going to lay flat. You can 100% put your hands underneath to protect. Make like a little diamond. Slide that underneath your tailbone. It's a great way to protect your back. And then we're going to do what's called walk-ups. So we start with our feet flat and up high. And then what I like to imagine is I'm walking across the ceiling, down the wall, to the bottom, and then I'm walking back up the wall and across the ceiling. So that's what a walk-up looks like. Now, obviously, based on your fitness level, maybe you can't walk all the way. So just start here, walk to where you can, and when you get to the point that you're like, oh, there's no coming back, then start back up. So there's no rule that you have to get all the way to the bottom. Just give your best shot, okay? So let's get ourselves set. So we're gonna get flat on the floor. Go ahead and roll that tail again. We're gonna make our little diamond under our tailbone for protection. Tuck our shoulders under, and then let's get that core really engaged. It's super important here. So I want you to think, take a big deep breath, and as you blow out, I want you to flatten. Not suck it in, flatten. And then pelvic floor, engage, think up and in, like you're trying to suck something up in there. Pick our feet up, and let's walk. We're going for 10 total. So up and down is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How's that core? Are you still flattened? Are you still up and in? 6. 7. It's a lot, I know. 8. 2 more. 9. 10. So you'll start to feel some in your legs, especially because we work quads. So that's normal. However, if you are feeling an intense burn in those hip flexors here, that means that your core is not supporting you and you are pulling those legs with your hip flexors, not your core. So if that's the case, if it starts happening once you get to like rep 7, 8, 9, 10, that just means you're fatiguing out and you need to start modifying, not going as far. If it starts happening for you right away, then you need to really focus on that core, hear my cues, really focus. And only drop, I mean, even if your walk is here, and that's it. Only go as far that your core is supporting you, not those searing hot poker hip flexors, okay? All right, so kind of the same thing's gonna apply with bicycle. If you feel crazy burn through here with your bicycle, same thing, okay? All right, so with our bicycle, we're flat. We're gonna imagine a string is pulling our chest up. So we're not bending through our neck, pulling up through our chest. And that's where we place our hands for support. We're not pushing or pulling through our hands. They're just there for support. We bring our legs in and we slowly pull one knee in and rotate our chest. So we're not cranking through our head. We're rotating through our chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now to modify, 8, you can lay flat and just pull your knees in. 10, 11, we're going to 16, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Woo! Lay it back. So yeah, to modify, you could support your back, just do knees. That's a great modification. You can stay on your back and do just a little, stay flat, and then just do a little chest rotation in. Definitely another great modification. All right, let's do our walk-ups. For time constraints, because those 10 took a really long time, it felt like, let's do 8 instead of 10. I misjudged how long 10 might take, so let's cut 2 off. You're very welcome. I'm so generous. And let's just go for 8. Let's go. Oh, first, flatten. Pelvic floor, up and in. Now let's go. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. Halfway there. How's that core? Do you need to stop? Reflatten. Re-engage that pelvic floor. 2. 1. Good work. Bring it down. So again, I have really tight hip flexors, but they are not bothering me in this exercise because my core is supporting me. If my core was not supporting me, hot poker, fire, really bad in that hip flexor area. So again, just either don't go as far or really stop, think about your core, and I mean, little tiny steps. If that's all you can do to keep those hip flexors from burning, just means we gotta build your core up more. That's all. It's not a bad thing. We're all a work in progress. All right, so we've got our bicycle crunches. Again, strain from our chest, pulls us up, hands for support, knees come up, twist that whole chest. 1, 2, 3. We're not pulling through our hands. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Set it down. Woo! All right, guys, we got one more trip through, and then we are done. So, again, make our little diamond underneath us. First, kind of tuck that tail, then make your diamond and roll that spine down. Now you've got your support. Come up, flatten that belly. Big deep breath. Let it out. Flatten. Pelvic floor, up and in. We walk. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. Oh, I made us do 10 again, didn't I? So then let's see, this will be 3. We'll cut, no, that would be 2. I'm trying to get back down to 8. All right, I'm gonna do one more. You feel free to stop if you've already done 8 and you know for sure. All right, guys, good job. My core took over my brain apparently, and I was not able to count right. All right, guys, we're doing our last set of bicycles. And then we will be all done. So again, straight, pulls us up, hands for support, knees come up. We reach our chest towards our knee. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We did it. Lay down, stretch those arms and legs like you're trying to pull yourself apart. job, guys. Come on up. Make sure you get up slowly, carefully, especially if you're like me and you get a little woozy when you first stand up. All right, guys, so that is it. You have completed your front body boot camp. Hope you enjoyed it. Just again, another way to look at our body, another way to work our body, new ways to direct our focus. So hope you enjoyed it. Our next workout, we're gonna do back body. So same idea, just those back body muscles, like your rear delts, your lats, your hamstrings, your booty, calves, looking at all that kind of stuff next workout. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you being here with me. It makes my day to see your names, your comments, your faces. So thank you so much for being here, and I'm so proud of the hard work that you guys are putting in with me. It really, really makes me feel good. So thank you so much. Please share these workouts. Please share my message. Please, please, let's get this thing going. Let's keep it going, and let's encourage more people to get healthy with us. And lastly, Venmo, any donations you wish to send me to @StrongStyleFit. And thank you for those of you that already are doing so. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you soon.